Welcome back to the channel, and today's video is about what do you do with people who are not willing to do the work, people who are not open to grow. What do you do? How do you navigate this situation? I'm sure there's a lot of ways to navigate this situation. I have seen 3 ways work. I've seen 3 ways being tried by people, and one of them fails miserably, the other 2 actually work. The first one is the worst thing you can do, which is try to change the person, try to make them do the work, try to force them to do the work, try to guilt them into doing the work. What happens with that is you build resentment, you wear yourself out, and the result looks like dragging a horse to the water and seeing the horse practically refuse to take the water. It is something a lot of people try to do, but it is the most miserable way to live. Trying to change your partner, trying to force your partner to change, and trying to guilt them into changing. There can be so much confusion that you don't even know where your partner stands. There can be so much confusion that you don't know anymore if your partner wants to do the work or doesn't want to do the work, because you have a lot of assumptions. And so you can say, I feel like we're not headed in the right direction. I want to work on it with you. I really want to stay with you, but not like this. You can say that. As long as you're not saying it from a place of judgment, which one of the videos will be, how do you actually say that without judging? Like, what is the kind of gym? Because there's a gym, a little gym in the mental mind that can happen for you in either 2 minutes or 5 or 12 that you can participate in to activate your sage, so that when you say that, you're not saying it from your saboteur mind. So in your sage, you can address your partner with love, let them know you love them, and you would love to do this work with them. But the work for you is non-negotiable. However you say that, I don't know. The second thing is you can kind of look for the gift in the opportunity. So a lot of people will go, this person will never change. They haven't changed in years, blah, blah, blah. They're not interested in doing the work. And they will just whine and whine about it. The gift in the opportunity of a partner that doesn't want to do the work is you can kind of see them as your personal trainer. Because every time somebody comes at you with a saboteur response, or when they come to you with a stretched rubber band, they give you the opportunity to build your own sage. So if you live with a difficult person, it's your opportunity to build the sage. But you want to know how to build the sage until you take the assessment, because if you don't take the assessment, what are we working on? Why are we building the sage? And maybe the next video, what I need to do is explain the assessment and why I think it's important. And maybe show you my own results, the first results I took. Because when you take your assessment and you see your results, now you really understand the language as I'm beginning to explain it. So second thing you can do is see this person as your personal trainer. And every time they come in their not so great mind, it gives you an opportunity to be in your sage. And this is a place of love and compassion and empathy, where you can navigate situations, you can innovate solutions, you can explore things without judgment, and you can activate different paths depending on what is at stake for you. So it's a beautiful place when you can see the person and you go, this is actually a gift in disguise. They are allowing me to build this muscle, which I call the sage. The sage muscle is the muscle that allows you not to be hijacked by saboteurs. And so you can look at your partner and you can go, actually, this is a good thing. And you can, every time they come in the saboteurs, you can kind of stay in your sage. And because of, look at when someone yawns besides you and you also yawn. It's an involuntary action. So when you kind of go, actually, the opportunity is that I can grow a much better muscle with this person because they live in their sabotage. So if I can try and stay in my sage, it means I will have the opportunity to grow a much stronger muscle. And what happens is subconsciously, you being in your sage activates the sage because you are always in your sage. The sage inspires people. The first approach is you in like your controller. You want to control them. You want to change them. It activates defense in them. This is different. This is you being in your sage. And this is you saying, every time they come at me, it's an opportunity for me to grow my muscle. And what happens when you take this approach and you just grow yourself? It takes work, but when you keep growing your muscle and doing a lot of reps, what happens is then the person begins to get this effect on them. It's like by osmosis, they activate that side of their own brain and they find like there's nothing to fuel their saboteurs. Saboteurs want one thing, to be right and to destroy what they find. So when your partner is screaming and you're screaming, saboteurs kind of have a party, they have a feast. When you're in your sage, however, you can see when your partner is hijacked. And you decide you're staying in your sage, which is stay present, find the gift, find the empathy, explore options, really navigate what's going on, and innovate without any judgment. When you keep doing that, what happens is the gun is taken away. Their saboteurs cannot multiply because there's nothing to fuel them. So around you, they feel powerless. They feel like they can't stay in that negative spiral. Have you ever been in a room with somebody who you feel it's impossible to be negative around them? This is kind of what sage contemplation is. You feel like it's impossible to be negative around this person because they don't fuel your negativity. It's kind of like that. You can also be in a room which you feel is just very negative. It may be impossible for you to feel very sage in a place where bullets are flying. So you can create an environment which makes it hard for people to be locked in their negative emotions. So that is number two. Number one, you can communicate with love that you're unwilling to stay if they're not willing to meet you. You can subtract yourself from their life and communicate with love and no judgment about it. Give them the opportunity to either step up or step out. It's the most loving thing you can do is just communicate. I would love for us to do this work. I'd love to be here till the last day of my life. However, if you're not willing to meet me in the middle and do this work, I will subtract myself. I am not willing to have this quality of life. I'm not willing to sacrifice my life just to keep you around. Something like that. But it needs to be said with love. The right people step up and do the work, and the wrong people say, oh, okay. Then it ends. Either way, it's your decision. The second one is you can see this person as a gift. The more difficult the person is, and I'm not saying violate your own boundaries, but like, the more difficult the person seems to be, the better you can grow. So when people say narcissists, for example, what I see is a provider and a controller overstretched. That's what I see. There is things that are unhealthy, like abuse and stuff. But other than that, sometimes what I see is a stretched controller, a stretched provider. You're the example of possibility for them. It's different from the first one, which is based on control. The last way how you can do it is you have somebody who is open to the work, and you do the work together. And you all do the work. You sign up, you understand your judges, you do the assignments, and you agree to do the work. You agree to neutralize the judge. You agree to grow together. So the partner is not willing to do the work, no problem. This work only takes you. Based on my own experience, takes you. The partner doesn't have to do the work. If you do the work and you're in your sage, sage activates sage. Judge activates judge. So when you're not judging, you won't activate the judge. So personally, my preferred way is to just do the work and let the other person find his path, because everybody has their path. But if you're like, man, this person is not willing to change, they're not open to change, I have tried and I don't know what to do with them because it's been a year plus and they're not changing, then you can communicate to them with love and ask that they step up or step up. Number two, you can see the gift, the opportunity in the situation, which is this person could be my trainer. And you can allow them to train you. Every time they come with that saboteur attack, you can kind of build the muscle, which is a lesson for another day. They can help you become the world champion with the sage. The more sage you build, the more you can activate the sage in others. So you can see it like that. At some point, this person will find their own sage and they will decide what doing the work looks like for them. The problem is when you're not in your sage, you can want to control how they do the work. It is impossible. They need to find their own path in doing the work because not everything you know will work for them. So they need to find their own way of doing the work, and they won't do that unless they have access to their sage, which is why number one doesn't work, because it doesn't allow them get access to their sage. The third one is you're lucky, you married somebody who has that opening, and then you all do the work. But either way, I hope that you feel more equipped with your partner. And there will be an assessment in the comment section that really allows you to see your own operating system, see your own judge, see your own tendencies, and which ones are stretched, which ones are not. I will put it in comment one. Feel free to take that assessment and feel free to start using some of these techniques. And once you get results, please come back and share your results. If this is helping you, subscribe and share.